Hey everyone, this is Leo Young with Impressive Reviews, Episode 8, and today we'll be going over Legends of Tomorrow, Season 2, Episode 2, The Justice Society of America. Now, if you know me and you've seen my other videos, you know that I'm a big fan of the Justice Society, but I'm not much of a fan of the roster that they have in this show. But they actually make it work this time, mainly because the roster doesn't seem that important, and which is actually kind of saddening. But, when the thing is like the entire time everyone's like, oh well, Ray is gonna like see the Justice Society and be like, wow, they are really good. It's like the Justice Society compared to the Legends, the Justice Society is an A plus. The Legends are a C minus. And the real thing is the Legends are a C minus in team communication. But when it comes to fighting, it's pretty much the same. And the reason I say that is because well, maybe I'll just put that in my personal thoughts and just get straight into the review because I don't want to make this a long one. So right off the bat, Sarah is the one who opens up the show instead of like Rip, and the reason is because she's now the leader, and that transitions. Now we continue from the ending of episode 1, where the JSA questions why the Legends are impersonating the OSS officers. The JSA fights the Legends. It's like they go after it. Someone says the wrong thing, but right off the bat, it's amazing. Obsidian uses his powers to quote unquote make it dark. He takes out the light in the area. Vixen CGI when she uses her amulet looks great. You see the actual gorilla, and she beats the living crap out of White Canary. Dr. Midnight is watching the entire fight via night vision. You know from the comics how Dr. Midnight has night vision sense because of I believe it was because either as his natural eyes or it's his goggles. Either way, Heat Wave comes up on him and he just knocks him the F out. Stargirl, I was about to say Stargate. Stargirl fights Firestorm and actually manages to separate him. Basically, the JSA wins. Now, after that, they take the Legends to a prison. Well, not a prison, but like the prison in their base. And Nate basically tells them who the JSA is, and it's not really a long one. It's not like people go like, "Wow, the JSA! I didn't know they existed." It's kind of odd. You would think people would talk about that. Maybe it's a new like change because of Flash. I don't know. I don't really can't explain why nobody ever talks about them. Now, when this is going on, Commander Steele and Vixen come in to question them. Steele thinks they're Nazis, and Nate reveals himself to be his grandson by showing dog tags that Steele would give to his son, and his son would give to Nate. Now, somewhere else in Germany, Reverse Flash is meeting up with a Nazi named Krieger. He wants something in return, an amulet for granting superhuman powers to the Fuhrer's army. Now, when the JSA call the Legends into their room, Our Man doesn't actually know them. He's a completely different Our Man from the one that we saw. And the reason is they show that the Our Man that met them at the end of Season 1 disappeared from the timeline. Like whatever time he was from is gone now. Now, during a cool down moment when Our Man talks to the president, Nate talks to his grandfather, and Steele was a lot harsher than he was given. And he was told. So it goes a little slow. Now the JSA give the Legends the option to leave the 40s, and they do. Now as they leave, Stein becomes leader of the Legends because Our Man thought he was due to his age and I guess his race, which is what Jax brings up. Nate talks to Sarah about being a member of the team, and she wants to take him back, but while talking, Nate notices his grandfather's dog tags disappeared. He never took them off. He actually said he never took them off since he was 5 years old. So, checking his notebook, he sees that the JSA are going to die on a mission. So, she asks her team, well, no, I'm sorry, wrong thing. They go to, help out. But before the mission to save the JSA, Stein and Jax get into an argument about Stein letting the power go to his head. And he kind of does because he goes like, that's Captain Stein to you. And it's like, wow, Stein, you're pretty much not good with power. Now, down in Paris in 1942, the Legends sneak into a Nazi party. Ray or Palmer catches Vixen dancing with I believe they didn't actually say who, but they catch Vixen there, and he goes and he like slips in and says, "Hey, listen, we've seen the time. You guys are gonna die in the mission, so we came back in time to save you." Now, she asks Ray, "Is it possible that the Legends coming back to save them is the reason that they died?" And Ray doesn't actually know the answer to that. Now, not long after, Nazi, I don't remember exactly his rank, so a Nazi, pulls Stein over to the side because he's impersonating a singer, and Stein does it perfectly. He kills it. He he does the singing. Nobody says differently. In fact, Stein's not the reason that this goes south. Ray is not seen saluting Hitler, doing the little Hitler salute. And he actually has problems. Like this little guy goes like, salute Hitler, and Ray keeps going hi hi hi. It's because Ray, I guess his moral compass stops him from doing that. So he basically one punches this Nazi out, and that's when the legends start fighting an entire bar full of them. The JSA come and save them. Now the JSA saves them because Stargirl comes in and uses like a flash of light and knocks them all out. She's OP. She can rip Firestorm in half. She can knock out men in an entire room. Now the Legends bring the JSA on the Waverider, and they work together to fight the Nazis. Now Sarah keeps noticing new marks on Nate, and she finds out that he's a hemophiliac. He doesn't bleed right. If he gets cut, it just goes out of him. Fearing that he could be injured like severely, even though it would be quote unquote uh not so mortal, she wants Nate to stay out of the fight, and she benches him. Now Vixen meets with Ray about his suit and blowing her cover permanently in Paris that she can never do it again. And they talk about the way the JSA and the Legends operate and their differences. And Vixen basically says that Ray is not a hero. And by saying that, she's saying the Legends themselves are not heroes, they're just people. Now, they have this little plan. The Justice Society basically goes down to fight the Nazis. And during the fight, Our Man and Stein disagree what's the mission. They find out that Krieger is after an amulet. So Stein wants the amulet, Our Man wants Krieger. And they're having a little disagreement. And during this, Krieger uses like a device that Dawn gives him to turn him into a giant super monster. And Krieger takes on the JSA and Stein, and both of them lose. So Sarah takes over. She gets her team out, but Adam and Vixen are left behind by Stein. He takes it back to their base and threatens to kill Vixen, but Ray says he'll help to protect her. Now back up on the Waverider, Our Man and Sarah go back and forth on their next move. Our Man continuing to believe that Stein is a suitable leader until Jax meets up with him and they have a talk. And then Stein finally admits it. He's not a good leader. He's an analytical guy. He's not he's not the person for it. Now Nate and Steele have a meeting in the public clinic. Wait, oh sorry, I skipped a whole lot. Basically, well actually no, that's about it. Nate and Steele meet up in the med clinic, and Steele explains that he doesn't. The reason he's kind of harsh against his grandson is because he doesn't want to be the hero that makes people stand up and fight evil. He wants to be the person to protect them and fight evil for them. So Steele accepts Nate's feelings as his grandson, and the two share kind words. They're finally close. Now Sarah and Our Man make a plan. Our Man is willing to kill Vixen and Ray in a bombing, but Sarah isn't. So Stein passes over leadership to her because she's pretty much the new leader. So down wherever they are, Ray and Vixen break free, and Ray plans to use an enhancer which would turn him into a metahuman until the base is attacked by the Legends. Now outside, Steel and Midnight are fighting Krieger, and Krieger comes after Steel, but Nate comes in on a motorcycle, and they run him, Indiana Jones style. You know what I'm saying? The motorcycle through the sidecar from the last movie. Now the bombs drop on the Nazis, but the bombs also manage to hit Steel and Nate. Now, they thought they escaped the drop zone, but they didn't. Steel survived. No, they didn't like drop it on him, but it dropped nearby. Cause Steel survives, but Nate, being a hemophiliac, is badly wounded. He's up on the Waverider. So one last ditch effort, Ray goes in and injects Nate with the enhancer, and Nate starts to heal. Now after that, the Legends return the JSA home in New York, and really nothing's learned about the Nazis' plan. They wanted an amulet, and that's about it. Now Steel meets up with Nate as he wakes up, and his dog tags just appear on his chest, showing that the timeline has been restored, and everything's back to normal, really. And this is when the last scene comes in. This is when, back in the JSA headquarters, Zoom attacks Our Man. And we thought it would have been Our Man versus Zoom, and it pretty much shows that everyone is out like class when it comes to a speedster, because Zoom kills Our Man, and he takes the amulet and he dips, and Vixen walks in to see him bleeding out and dying. Now, while I feel like this was a faster review, It came up like at 10 minutes. So I'm gonna like drop this right here and get straight to my personal thoughts, and hopefully you all like agree with it. So let's get right into those. All right, so this is Leo's thoughts, and well, I started off the video saying this one, but it's mainly about how the Justice Society works as a unit. Uh, in many other interviews, it's basically said that Ray views the Justice Society as like this high class, perfect organized machine. In reality, is like what I saw wasn't really that. Here's what happens. Exactly. That blank space is pretty much what happens when you sit down and you watch how the Justice Society fights. The main hitters are Obsidian, Vixen, and Stargirl. And other than that, like Steel, Our Man, and Midnight, they really don't have a place. It's not like Arrow, who has his skill and has his bow and arrow who can shoot from a range. It's like if you see the scene where Steel and Midnight fight Krieger. Midnight runs in front of Krieger just to get knocked down. Steel shoots Krieger in the back, and that's how that whole chase scene started. Really, they don't do much. Like I said, what happens is Obsidian blacks out the sky, or Stargirl blasts like a bunch of people with her staff. And the staff brings up another question, really, because earlier in the no, multiple times she used that staff to hit multiple people at once. Like she knocked out an entire group of Nazis in one blast. But then later on, she's fighting like a group of Nazis, and during that fight, she's actually hitting them. She's going like pow, 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 pow. So, Stargirl staff, they need to work on that. Reverse Flash and the Speedsters. This is why I love Speedsters. It's like I was so surprised to see them kill Our Man like that. But really, when you fight a speedster, and you don't have speed powers yourself, or a cold gun, there's little chance you'll survive. Like if Reverse Flash and Cold fought, Reverse Flash would kill Cold, just cause it's different between Barry and Flash. I mean Reverse Flash. Barry wants to hurt him, knock him down, keep him in prison. Reverse Flash will go off and murder him. So really, it's going to be interesting seeing how the Legends actually handle Reverse Flash, because I know like later on, there is going to be like an older Barry, so maybe he'll come up and help fight Reverse Flash, or like because Heat Wave alone is not going to be able to fight him. So let's just get that out of the way. Everyone else will get wrecked. Now, this was a weird thing. The amount of JSA members, like I said, the table looked a lot bigger than the 6 people we saw. And it is a fact that Obsidian is Alan Scott's son. Now, that's the whole table thing. The whole amount of them actually was the questionable thing, because Our Man was the leader. It was like that was the weird thing for me. Our Man was the leader of the JSA instead of someone else. So, it was still a great team though. Only problem is it pretty much seems like this is going to be the only time we see the JSA. Like when you think about it, where do they go from there? Because their leader is dead. So that leaves Vixen, Obsidian, Steel, Stargirl, and Midnight. Did I already say that? Vixen, Steel, Obsidian, Stargirl, Midnight. That leaves those 5. And Vixen sneaks onto the Waverider. So that leaves 4 people left. A blind guy, Stargirl, a teenager, Commander Steel, he might just take the leadership role. So, but hopefully we get to see what happens late in the next episode, because the previews show that Nate gets superpowers thanks to Ray, so that's going to create some problems. You know what I mean? Like Now the difference was instead of bleeding out and being a hemophiliac, he gets cut and there's no real healing. Instead of that, now he just can't feel things. So it's like, is that a real like trade-off he wants to do? Did Ray ruin his life? We don't know yet. Anyways, that's my thoughts on the episode. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, share, comment, and like, and see you in the next one. Bye bye now.